Hey, let's talk about writing linear equations and inequalities. Anytime we're dealing with word problems, guys, in math, we're looking for what don't we know. There's always something they're like, hey, we have this, but what don't I know? What are they leaving out? That's what we need to find out because those are going to be our variables. We're going to ask, is it an equation or inequality? What's given? We're going to work with two types of equations, standard form and slope-intercept form. Standard form, and we'll get into this, standard form gives you two rates and a total amount versus slope-intercept form is one rate and an additional amount. Okay, and so algebra is all about patterns, patterns, patterns. So if we're looking and we're reading and we're like, hey, there's two rates in here, usually that's going to be a standard form equation. If it's one rate and you're starting with something or it's an additional amount, one-time fee, that's most likely slope-intercept form. Okay, so let's start with standard form. Standard form is ax plus by equals c. Ax would be your first rate, b times y would be your second rate, okay, and then over here, c, that would represent your total amount. So let's look at what this actually means, okay? Example A, Bailey spent $125 on clothes. He bought some shirts for $12 each, some pants for $22 each. Write an equation that represents the number of shirts and pants bought. Okay, so lots going on. Bailey went, I'm going to highlight some things that I think are really important. So Bailey spent this much. I'm reading and I see, oh, hey, he got some shirts for $12 each. Oh, hey, that's a rate. I'm saying how much each thing costs. And then he bought some pants for $22 each. That's another rate. I'm saying how much something costs each thing, right? And we want an equation here so that we know, okay, it's going to be equal something, right? Okay, when we're looking at what's given, I just want you looking for like how many rates are given. Here I have two rates and a total are given. If I see that pattern, that tells me, hey, I'm going to have a standard form equation, okay? So then I go and I look, what don't I know in this story? Okay, I know that Bailey spent $125. I know he bought some shirts. Do I know how many? I don't. Okay, so I don't know the number of shirts. That's one of my unknowns. I'm going to say that's going to be X. And then I look and I say, hey, he bought some pants too. Hey, wait, I don't know how many pants he bought. So that would be my other variable. Okay, so that's what we're doing with our unknown. Define the variables. What is going to be X? What's going to be your Y in that situation? Okay, in standard form, look for the rates. That's usually where you'll find the part you don't know because it'll tell you, hey, this much for each thing, but it doesn't usually tell you how much of each thing you get. Okay, so when we're looking for our rates, one rate, let's see, how much do I pay for shirts? I paid $12 for each shirt. X is now our shirts, so I put 12X. The other rate is our pants. It's $22 for each pair of pants, so 22 times the number of pants that I get. Pants is now Y, so it's 22Y. Okay, the total I spent was $125. If I can figure out what my variables are and put these pieces, then all it is, hey, the cost of the shirts plus the cost of the pants added to $125, right? If you want to tell yourself that, cost of shirts plus cost of pants equals 125 total, okay? That's what it means. And if you can read math with meaning, then it's not mysterious and we're not like, what's happening? Every variable means something. Every number represents something. Our job as mathematicians is to give the meaning, okay? All right, let's look at slope-intercept form. This is when you get one rate and an additional or starting amount. You might want to add that to your notes, starting amount, okay? This is the y equals mx plus b form. Y is our total, m is the rate, and b is our additional amount, okay? Jacqueline paid a plumber $25 an hour for labor plus a one-time service fee of $75. Write an equation to represent the total cost. Okay, I have this $25 an hour. That's a rate. It's telling me how much for each hour, right? Then it says I have this one-time service fee. That's not a rate. I only have to pay that one time to this guy. Okay, it's not every hour I have to pay another $75. It's one-time service fee. Okay, write an equation, so it's equals again, to represent the total cost. Okay, so what's given? I have one rate and an additional fee, an additional amount. Okay, when it's one rate and an additional amount, most likely that's going to be our slope intercept. Okay, looking for patterns. Standard is 2 rates and a total. Slope intercept is 1 rate and an additional or starting amount. Okay, what don't I know here? I hired a plumber. I pay him $25 an hour. Do I know how many hours? I sure don't. There's one of my variables. What's the other thing I don't know? Well, it wants me to represent the total cost. Does it tell me what my total cost is? Nope. That's your other unknown. Okay. In slope intercept, let y be the total. Okay. So in slope intercept, let y be your total. And I'm telling you, if it's one rate and an additional amount, it's slope intercept form, y is going to be the total cost. That's going to be the other thing you don't know yet. Okay, our rate is $25 per hour, so 25 times x. The additional amount is this one-time fee, and it's positive 75. Okay, so I put it together. $25 per hour plus the 75 fee will give me my total amount. Okay, you could type this the other way, y equals 25x plus 75. Okay, but just know what this means. $25 per hour plus the fee gives me my total cost. All right, let's do it one more time. Inequalities. This chart is uber important. Please learn the vocabulary that goes with the symbols, learn how to read the symbols and words that go with it. Until then, when you're doing your practice, use this to help you out. Okay, here we go. For a movie theater to make a profit, it needs to bring in a minimum of $7,500 in sales each day. A local movie theater charges $9.75 for each popcorn and $11.50 per ticket. Write an inequality to represent the total amount of sales needed to make a profit for one day. Okay, lots going on with this theater. What stands out to me is I know they have to make a minimum of $7,500, so that's their goal, that's their total amount right there. And then when I read, I see, hey, they charge $9.75 for each popcorn for each, so that's a rate. It's telling me how much for each thing. And then $11.50 per ticket. Hey, that's another rate telling me how much I have to pay for each ticket I buy. Okay, so I look and I see that I have 2 rates and a total amount. So this is going to be a standard form. AX plus BY equals C. Okay, what don't I know? Look at the rates. That's your hint. Okay, I don't know how much popcorn, so we'll let that be one variable. And I don't know how many tickets were sold. That's the other variable. Those are both of my rates. For each popcorn, how many popcorns? For each ticket, how many tickets? Okay, so there's my X and my Y. So one rate for the popcorn, it's $9.75 for each popcorn. So $9.75 times X, since that's what popcorn is. And the tickets are $11.50. You could have the 0, you don't have to have the 0, times however many tickets I buy. So times Y, because Y is now our tickets. Okay, everything's connected, making sure I put the right numbers with the right variable because it tells the story, right? If I put 9.75y, I'd say that the tickets are $9.75, and that's not the story. Okay, now we're looking for the symbol. So I have minimum of $7,500. If I don't know that off the top of my head, I can come look, minimum. Hey, it's right here, greater than or equal to, right? Because 7,500 is the least amount they want to make. They want to make more because then they're making good money, right? So I can copy and paste this. It's greater than or equal to 7,500. And now I'm ready to put it all together. So the popcorn sales plus the ticket sales should be greater than or equal to 7,500. I'm just going to make this all the same size, okay? But that's what you're doing over and over and over again. Train your brain. That's what this whole table is here for, is to teach your brain how to think through mathematically, going from the words, how do I translate it to an algebraic expression, right? What's the pattern? Do I have two rates? Do I have one rate? Is it standard form? Is it slope-intercept form? And then the twist here with inequalities is which inequality do I use?